welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Claire, it's nice to have you here, and if you're turning, it's great to have you back. And today you might be able to see I've got really glam eyes on, and I actually later in this video show you how to create this eye look. I've done it on one eye, and then you can follow and do it on the other eye if you so wish. Otherwise, I'm just going to review the Urban Decay Naked Honey Palette, as the title says, so that's obvious. So I'm just going to say a little bit about the Urban Decay Honey Palette. And so this is my first ever Urban Decay palette. I am, believe it or not, in fact this is my first ever Urban Decay product that I've ever used, and I was ever so kindly gifted it when I went to the Boots event. I'll link that up here, and because I've already done a video showing you the new Boots in Meadow Hall, and well, I was given this to try out and show you guys. So obviously here I am now. This is not sponsored, I've not been paid, there's no obligation whatsoever for me to talk about this palette. I've just been gifted it, but obviously it would be a shame not to, because it is so stunning. And I'm really loving this eye look, and I'm blinking constantly because I have lashes on and I don't normally have a lash, but so yeah, I'm just going to show you some swatches of the palette and see what you think. Like, I also noticed I'm quite fittingly wearing yellow today, so I think that that's like perfect for this video. So the palette contains 12 shades, and it's a combination of some shimmers and mattes. They're all sort of like ambery yellows, browns. I think like if you're a fan of the Naked palette and you have like all of them, you definitely need this one in your collection. If you have some Naked palettes already, but you're sort of like umming and ahhing about whether you want to because it's quite expensive, like it's £42 full price. I will link it in the description below. And so I guess if you're like thinking, oh, do I need it, and you already have some of the Naked palettes, then maybe you don't, because it has got a lot of like warm browns that seem to be like a consistent thing throughout their Naked palettes. But for some of these yellow tones, which are so complementary to, I think, every skin tone, I feel like it would be a shame to miss out on that. So like I say, I will link that below. So let me just show you some swatches. So I'm going to just go across the palette from lightest to darkest, and I'll tell you the names as we go along. I'll swatch some of these colours for you here. So we're going to go with the first one, which is the lightest shade. This is Flyby, which is like a white. Then we're going to go in with the next colour, which is like a pinky peach, and this is shade Sweet. The next colour along, this is a colour I've used today, and it's like a light camel colour. This one's called Swarm. The next one is a shimmer shade. This one's called Amber, and this is really gorgeous, sort of like coppery colour. The shimmers in these palettes are insane. Let me just say how good and pigmented they are, and they apply really nicely. The next shade is like a darker camel colour. This one's Keeper. The next one is, by its name, a golden shimmer shade, and this is shade Golden. The next one is the yellow shimmer shade, the one that I have on my lid today. This is shade Honey. Now, Golden and Honey are both just absolutely stunning. I think Golden suits me better because of my skin tone and my eye colour and stuff, but they're both beautiful. The next one is a shimmer shade, which is like a sort of like browny greeny colour, and it is really gorgeous, and this is shade Queen. So this is sort of like a browny khaki kind of shade. It's really lovely. The next one is like a cool light brown, and this one is Hive. The next one is a warm, a darker brown. This is in shade Drip. we have a sort of like coppery light brown shade shimmer. This is in HBIC. I don't really know. Honeybee? I don't know. This is sort of like an orangey copper colour. Similar to the amber one, but like darker and a bit more orange there. And then the last one is the darkest shade in the palette, and it's like a dark chocolatey brown, and this one is shade Sting. Let me just, yeah. So as you can see, all of those shades are gorgeous. It's really hard to see that sort of whitey, pinky coloured one, if I can catch the light right. But they're all just beautiful. They're really high quality pigment. I think that they're all really wearable. Like, I think it's so easy to create a look that's everyday wearable, and it's so easy to create a look that would take you to a night out and just be really glamorous. Personally, I think they're really blendable. I think they're really high quality. I love the palette itself. I was genuinely going to buy this anyway. I was actually supposed to be going to an event to show you the palette and like learn to play with it and stuff like that. On like actually the same day as I went to the Boots event, I had paid for this like Urban Decay like masterclass type thing. It was something I was going to pay for and go to myself, and you got a £10 redeemable on products on the day. So I actually still have my £10 gift card that I was going to put towards buying this. So if any of you have any Urban Decay recommendations that you think I should use my £10 on, please do put those in the description below, because I would really like to see what you rate from the brand and what you think of it. Because like I say, this is my first Urban Decay palette and my first ever Urban Decay product. So it's actually really exciting for me to be like using this and playing with this, and such a high brand, and like such a high well-known brand to have gifted me this. Obviously that was from Boots, not directly from Urban Decay, but like obviously it's really exciting. So if you like this eye look and you'd like to learn how to create this eye look, I'm going to show you that next. So just we're going to skip right into that, and let's just get on with it. So as you know, this is the first time I've ever done this on my channel. I'm not a makeup artist or anything like that. I don't have any formal training in makeup or anything. And the only way I've learned is by watching other YouTubers and from friends and family and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. I like to start with the darkest shade first and then build up from there. So I'm going to start with the shade Sting, which is the darkest shade in the palette there. And I'm going to pick it up on like sort of like a pointy ended narrow pencil brush, and I'm just gonna follow the shape of my eye, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with my eye open first, and I'm going to sort of draw the shapes that I want it to look like afterwards, because obviously here I want to be able to see the darkest part there. I have really hooded eyes, so I want to be able to still see it when my eyes are open. So this is what I would advise you do, is to have your eye open and sort of draw on where you want that to be. So just really gently, because you can obviously build this up, just drawing on this darkest line and taking that right into your outer lid there. So you've got like that sharp line. And I'm just going to take that all the way into this inner corner. So I just have this sort of dark brown. And don't worry if the like lower part is going onto your lid and stuff like that, because we're going to cut the crease later, so that doesn't have to be neat, but you want the upper part to be as neat as possible. So I would just take your time with this part. Sorry for not looking into the camera all the time. I've actually got my mirror positioned above the camera so that I can see what I'm doing, and I'm kind of close to you guys and you can see what I'm doing too. So as you can see, I've now just taken this line. This would normally be like your crease, but like I say, I have really hooded eyes, so I've just taken mine that tiny bit higher, and then on this inner corner, like I'm not too worried about seeing that because I don't want full drama on the inside of my eye. I'd want that on the outside. So I've kind of gone in with that brown. I've not blended it out at all. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. What I'm going to go in with next is like the longer, fluffier type brush. This is not quite a blending brush. It's still like a pencil one, but it's just longer. And I'm going in with the next shade, which is going to be Hive, and that's this sort of like ambery camel colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up on my brush here, and I'm just going to dab it along this line that I already have. So it's going to kind of look like I have two lines of colour. And it's going to look a bit naff at first, but it will come together, I promise you. And so I'm also going to take that round the outside of this dark colour here. So I'm not blending yet, I'm just applying like a second line. So as you can see, just kind of like this dark line and this lighter shade, and so now we're going to blend that in. So I'm going to take a clean brush and I'm just going to blend that. And I'm just doing really small sort of circular motions here to blend that out. And don't worry if you lose a lot of that dark shade, because we can go back in and deepen that up later. So I'm quite happy with how that's blended out now. So then I'm going to go in with the next colour, and this is going to be the lighter colour, and that's going to be the top one that goes closest to your brow. So I'm going in with a slightly fatter blending brush, and the shade Swarm. That's this one, which is kind of like a light camel colour. And again, I'm just going to dab like above that brown colour. And then taking the clean brush and blending again. As you can see, my brush isn't clean, I've used it for the other eye. You know, I never do my eye makeup this way either. I always like to do them both at the same time. I don't like to do one and then go to do the other one and match it. So this isn't something I'd normally do, but I guess we'll give it a go because, you know, there's a first time for everything. So I think I'm quite happy with how I've blended those colours out now. I'm just going to go back in with the darkest one on that same pencil brush that I started with and just deepen up that crease line again. And in this outer corner. Like I say, don't worry if you've made a mess of your lid, because we're going to cover that. This time, rather than using that clean blending brush, I'm just going to take the colour Hive again back on the pencily fluffier one and just blend that a little bit again. Okay, so once you've got that, we're then going to cut the crease, and this took me a little while to master it, but actually there's absolutely no reason for this to be difficult. So what I'm going to take is I'm going to take like a thin flat brush, and I'm just going to take my concealer. So I'm just a brush like this, so it's like flat, and I'm using the Revolution Concealer and Define Concealer. I did buy this originally just to use as a concealer, but I'm not that much of a fan of it as a concealer. I think it sits in my lines a little bit too much, so I use this to cut my crease now. So what I would say is, again, keeping your eye open, or as open as possible, and just kind of like drawing. So you're going to take like the tiniest bit on your brush, so I would just dab it onto the one sus on your brush and just sort of like drawing on where you want your crease to be. and just making sure that you don't have too much product on there. So I think I've like done that semicircle shape like how I want it and as high as I want it. I'm going to take the main colour I want for on the lid, and I'm going to use a flat brush, but like a wider one, and I'm going in with the shade Honey, which is the main yellow shimmer shade there. And I'm gonna just like lightly press. This shade does go on a lot better with like your finger, but we're gonna go in and do that like last. So just going in with the colour Honey. And just really take that up to where you've cut your crease and just packing it on. If you want this to be perfect, I would take more time to do all the steps. I've done this quite quickly. I don't really know why I've not got to go anywhere anytime soon, so I don't know why I've tried to do this quickly, but just packing that on. So once you're happy that you've got like a first coat as such of what you want there, I would take your fluffy brush that we used for Hive earlier, which was like the second shade, and I'm just going to pick up that same shade and I'm just going to blend that outer edge there. Now I do wish this had like an orangey shade. I think an orangey colour would be really nice here. They do have like the shade Amber, which is kind of got a little bit of a coppery tint to it there, but the problem is it's a shimmer and I didn't want a second shimmer. I wanted something matte, so we're just taking that here. And then once you're happy that's blended out, I'm going back in with the pencil one and the darkest shade and just deepening up that outer corner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blend out, I'm going to do the lower lash line, so I'm using that same darkest colour staying on my pencil brush and just going on your lash line there. Don't worry, you can always go back in with the deepest colours. I would just stay lined first. And back in with the shade Hive. So now I'm going to just lighten up. I'm going to take the lightest colour, which is almost like a white, called Flyby, and just take that on the inner corner here. And that just gives you that bright pop in that inner corner there. And then I'm going to take on my ring finger the shade Honey, that yellow one we've used on the lid, and just really pack that on. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but that's really changed it for me, because that's gone from like being a little bit golden to now fully yellow. I can see that that's yellow, and it's really on nicely there. I'm now going to apply eyeliner and a lash, and we'll come back and put on my liner on the waterline. So I'm just using the Kat Von D dagger liner there for my eyeliner. These lashes are from a brand called Oh My Lash. They're based in Manchester. This is not affiliated or sponsored or anything like that. These are just a brand that I happened to come across when I was on Instagram, and their lashes are reusable and they're amazing, and I wear these ones all the time when I'm creating an eye look or I'm going out somewhere fancy. because they're just so like glamorous and full and beautiful and just so easy to put on. The strip is just really great. So that's Oh My Lash, and they all come in this like really pretty rose gold sort of throne that they kind of sit in, and obviously this is reusable, and so I keep my lashes in this when I take them off, and so it's really great. So lastly, I'm going to go in with a liner, and I thought I would get a nice liner that complements this whole look, and this is the Pixie by Petra Silky Eye Pen, Endless Silky Eye Pen, and this one is in shade Antique Gold, and this just complements the whole look perfectly. So I'm just going to go with a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes there, and this is the Wonder Wand mascara by Ciate. I think I've spoken about this mascara before. I really like it. I think the wand's really nice. Yeah, that's the finished look with this. This is the Urban Decay Naked Honey Palette. Again, I feel like I should just say it's really pretty. It's really blendable. This is my first ever Urban Decay palette that I've had. And I was gifted this really kindly when I went to a Boots event recently. So I hope you like this eye look, and if you'd like to see more eye looks, please do comment below and let me know what you thought of this video, if it's something that you enjoyed watching, or whether you want me to go back to my other style, or whether you want me to just add a bit of both. Like, please do let me know, because obviously this channel is for you. So thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.